Racing Podcast. I am your host, Crusader, with my good friends and colleagues, Dylan, Archon, and Thunderfunk. And guys, it's an honor having you tonight on the podcast.
What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Not much. Just got a few beers with me, a few Bud Lights, and a few Busch Lights waiting in the wings. Of course, that's Iowa's favorite Halloween candy right here. So I gotta have a couple Busch Lights here tonight.
That's all I drink now. Busch Light, baby.
That's right, brother. All right, so we kind of wanted to do this podcast tonight, just to kind of give our viewers a little bit more about us and get to know us a little bit better, and maybe at the end we can have a little fun with this. But for now, let's kind of keep things a little real and civil here. So I kind of want to start with our new guest tonight, since I've already had you, Archon, and Thunderfunk on the stream before. So Dylan, welcome to the podcast, buddy. I think this is only the second time we've had you, but our first full time having you on for the long run, bud.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so I got to ask you real quick, how the heck did you even find this league? How did you get into PTM racing, and what was your overall feelings when you started?
I'd say probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Bottles made this post. I do believe it was on Facebook. And I jumped over there, first person in there. So I thought, okay, well, I wasn't really sure how this was going to go. Never been in a league before.
Mm-hmm.
So we started getting these new drives, and then it just, I don't know, it went kind of smooth after that, and then it got a little crazy, and then
So you been here for 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
God dang.
Yeah, I was the very first person in the league, other than Paddles.
Very first person, really?
Very first.
Wow.
When did you join, Archon?
Oh, probably close to 4 years ago. I was racing in this league with this guy named Tyler Roush. I don't know if you guys ever raced with him, Roush.
Yes.
Well, he had a league, and this is the league with the very early of the pro league drivers, like the Bear, FedEx, Dagger Race. They all used to race in that, and that was the first league I was in. And he was like, "Yo, you got PTM. This league is like having this thing called Short Track Showdown, and it's like truck series on all short tracks." So I was like, "I'll fucking try it," and then it's all been history.
So, what did it start on NASCAR Heat, Heat 2, or Heat 3, or?
Heat 2 is what if I remember right.
Y'all started on Heat 2?
Yeah.
Me and Paddles started back on Heat Evolution.
Really?
Yeah.
That game was fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Looking back on it now, it might not be the best game to play, but...
Oh my god. Because I was playing a lot of NASCAR 15, and when I was playing 15, I was in the only other league I've ever been in was NASCAR, and that was during the 15 league, and I had a falling out or whatever, and I kind of quit playing NASCAR Heat till about Heat 3, and that's when I joined up PTM.
Y'all are playing a league called NASCAR? I don't think I've ever heard of a league that actually named themselves after the actual game itself, but I mean, hey, whatever works.
How was that spelled? Was that NAW?
No,
I think it was
NOSS, like
yeah.
the energy drink.
They're still okay.
Yeah, I think they are still going. Yeah.
Ah. Well, if they are,
So it's
kudos to them.
NASCAR.
I did a stint
NASCAR.
with them too.
All right. Well, it's
How
always
about
good to have
Evolution,
great drivers and great leagues out there for any participation in, especially in esports and e-racing, especially NASCAR and all that. And with everything going on and all that, honestly, league racing is probably at the highest it's been in a long time. A lot of drivers and a lot of folks out there want to hop in and join in. And Thunderfunk, you obviously joined in because you're a part of the PTM crew. So, Dr. Squatch, talk to us. How did you become the doctor of PTM?
Well, I think I was doing a public race with Fluffy. Y'all remember him, I'm sure.
Fluff Master Flex.
Fluff Master Flex.
Fluffy Ninja. And he's like, yeah, you should join PTM. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I got hooked up with Pottles through the Facebook Messenger. I was like, yeah, can I join? And she's like, yeah, you got to do a tryout. I was like, okay, I'll do a tryout. So I was doing a tryout at Pocono in the trucks with Fluffy Ninja, me, and 2 other guys. And Fluffy's sitting there, yeah, I'm gonna beat you up. Well, watch this. And he was sitting there bragging the whole time. And
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Yeah, because I almost didn't join PTM because of him. I was like, dude, is this how everybody's gonna be? And I raced him, and I actually won that race. And we
At
went
Pocono?
In the trucks in Heat 3.
Dang, man.
And we had a race that night, and Pottle's like, is the new guy cool? And Fluffy's like, yeah, he's cool.
He's like, his new guy cool? Yeah, he beat me on Pocono, a track that most people hate.
I was like, quit being so arrogant. And he kind of quit.
Hey, I mean, it happens.
That's how I joined, And I'm glad I did, man. I enjoyed a lot of good people in this league. And a lot of good friends now, close buddies. And I don't know. Shoot, I'm good friends with a lot of people like Dylan, Archon, Joey.
Yes,
You're getting better, Crusader.
We'll get to me in a minute, but actually in the comments right now, we actually got a few people talking with us. Hoffy, it's good to hear from you again, bud, and even the Pottles. Speak of the devil, she will appear. But she has a question for you, Thunder. She said she thought that you joined in from that league you partnered with.
I was never partnered with another league.
Really?
I raced with NASCAR and NASCAR 15, and I quit playing NASCAR because I bought NASCAR Heat Evolution. It was garbage. Went back to 15, bought NASCAR Heat 2. It was just as bad as Heat Evolution, and I went on hiatus. I was just tired. I just gave up on the NASCAR games, really, and then Heat 3 came out, and it was pretty decent. And I got in a race with Fluffy.
Yeah. Well, guys, it is great to be able to.
You imagine that? That's how I figured out about PTM.
I guess since everybody's talking about their experience with the PTM. Yeah, look at us now. So I guess I'll get into how I got into it. So I actually got into PTM probably in the most weird fashion that I think anyone's going to hear me out on this. So when I got into PTM, I actually was messaged by the Pottles via when I was playing Wreckfest at the time, because I was really getting into it and I was really getting hyped.
Wreckfest?
I came from Wreckfest, guys.
You wrecked cars?
I wrecked a lot of cars. All right, so long story short, she messaged. I got a message from her, and she was like, "Hey, you want to join a league?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not? Would love to." So I got into the PTM Banger series that was going on with Wreckfest, and after a while, I was trying to race cleaner and be more kind of pronounced in how I race, because I always loved racing that stuff and it was a lot of fun. But I hated the fact that there's someone in here, I ain't mentioning names, but he's a little Scottish fellow of ours that we have to deal with that kept wrecking me in the races, and I got really annoyed with him. But then one day they're like, "Hey, if you want to race clean, go join NASCAR Heat 4. I'm like, "NASCAR Heat 4? I don't even have that game." So one day I went to GameStop and like, you know what, I see NASCAR Heat 4 for a decent price. I'm going to go and pick that up, and I wanted to join in with the crew. So one day I got a time trial in, and I started racing you guys, and first time I went out, I was scared, bitter stiff, and I couldn't figure out what the heck I was doing. It was whole new racing to me, and I had no idea where I was going, but it seemed like it worked out because I got a half a season in, and then the final race, the second to final race, it was at ISM. That was when I finally got my first win in, and that was over Archon, You Thunder, and King Joey, and a few other guys. Even Dylan, I think you were racing that too, were you?
Yes.
Which race was it?
That was ISM, the race before Homestead for the season championship.
When you cheated?
Wait, well, how did I cheat? Y'all burn your tires up so quick, man. That's your own dang fault, not mine, man.
Hey, I'll give you this, Crusader. You're getting a whole heck of a lot better, buddy. I see improvements. I really do. From like when you first started versus today. Yeah, you're making big jumps, man. Keep it up. You're good.
I appreciate it, guys. I'm trying to every day. I'm just trying to get better, but I think all you guys are trying to get better, especially with the New England Patriots over here. Archon, the rattlesnake, who keeps beating our butts and everything. It seems
Hey,
like.
Tom Brady's in the got the Bucks now, so who knows?
Can I
Is
say
he
something?
in the Bucks? Oh, crud.
Yeah, he was the Buccaneers.
No, my
I
lord.
want to say one thing.
All right.
How does Archon get 2 nicknames? I'm stuck with Box of Chocolate. Can we talk about that? Like, I really don't appreciate that.
Look, Dylan, I'm trying to give you a new nickname, but one day I just thought to myself, like, I must have had Forrest Gump on the mind or something, and I just thought, you literally are like a
That
box of
explains
chocolates.
a lot. That actually explains a lot.
Yeah.
So
I might
for
not
those,
be smart, but I know what love is.
so for those that don't understand what we're talking about, one night in a broadcast, this is one of the first ones we were doing. I was getting kind of hungry, and I also had Forrest Gump on the mind, I think, and I just kept thinking to myself, Dylan literally drives like he can drive perfectly at times and literally hold out the entire race, and it's tough to beat him. And then there's times like he has a good race, but then like a little break just pushes him back into the back, and then he's all over the place.
I can't wait to see where this is going.
Well, we got the boss in here, actually.
Don't fill her head too much.
The boss is in
Well,
here?
I want to know how you got the name. Like when you first started, like how'd you get the name? And you sure got a good following. Like how'd you come up with PTM?
It was all my idea. No, I'm kidding.
No, I really don't know because it's been so many years ago. But I remember we did come up with it, and this dude started messaging me saying I took his name, and he ended up not running his
that.
league, and it was only 3 people in his league. I was like, well, obviously you're not running your league, so is it fine if I just use this name? But I think it's something that where I'm from, that's a name we always could say, like PTM, pedal to the metal, when they're racing in my local track is always pedal to the metal. I think I always like that.
Okay.
All right.
God, so 4 or 5 years ago. Still going today. That's nuts, ain't it?
I think it was 2016 I started.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
holy shit.
Wow.
It's come this far. It's hard to believe.
Mm-hmm. We got some OGs. We got new people.
Oh, yeah, it definitely came. It definitely came very, very far from back then. Man, just huge improvements. I'm just trying to think back. I mean, it's just every season it feels like it improves so much.
Yeah, it does, don't it?
She and all the other admins did an amazing job since that very first encounter there. It was just amazing.
I don't do the best, but I raise quite a fuss.
I just get on the mic and think of chocolates, I guess.
It's been great, man.
She just asked us to do a couple things to help. She does everything, man.
Yeah, no kidding. I just sit there and think, just like, okay, you're gonna make your own league. All the freaking bullcrap you gotta go through, and find drivers, keep them. You gotta host the races. You gotta do this, that. I was like, man, I don't know. That's a lot of freaking work.
I think the worst time to be an admin was when motorsports was running. Oh my god!
Oh, good lord.
Motorsports.
It was every week. Every week I had to talk to Sloter Sports about something he did.
I think it was between Motorsports and what was his name? Hughes Gaming. Them two together, man.
Wow, it was like Dumb and Dumber. It was horrible.
It sounds like we got some stuff to talk about for future dates, but
Yeah. Let's get him out here.
well, I just want to say real quick before we kind of start getting things into fun mode, just want to say thank you to our sponsors tonight, Dirt Tracking for your mobile Android and iOS devices. Folks,
Which is free right now.
I was just about to get to that. Someone would stop interrupting me.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Anyway, yeah, it is free on your mobile Android and iOS devices, guys. I've actually downloaded it a couple weeks ago, and I've actually really enjoyed this game when it was to be paid for. Now that it's free, it is a heck of a lot of fun, guys.
Sorry to interrupt you, Crusader. You can actually hook your PS4 controller up to that game if you hold your share and PlayStation button. At the same time, go to your Bluetooth settings, and you can connect your PlayStation controller to your phone and play it.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Oh my God, it's so much fun.
I didn't even know that.
Wow.
Yeah, I was playing. Yeah, I was going to. I had to go to town earlier, and I was sitting there in the passenger seat playing dirt tracking with my controller.
Well, there you go, guys, from the
Yeah, I was
doctor
doing
himself.
online races and everything, dude. I was busting some good laps.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun, though, guys. Be sure to go and check them out, support them. They are definitely a bunch of good folks out there. Go and support Dirt Tracking for your mobile Android and iOS devices. Also, guys, and something I would probably would be amazed if I can hook this PS4 controller up is to a car. Where can I get a car? At Courtesy Jeep and Chrysler in Coatesville, Pennsylvania. If you guys are looking for the best motorized vehicle on the markets in Pennsylvania, go to that dealership there. They are one of the best guys around. Be sure to check out Courtesy Jeep and Chrysler at Coatesville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, them hybrid Pacificas look pretty good.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind one of those.
Out of one of them.
I wouldn't mind
Like
me having a
60
Jeep
miles an
again.
gallon.
To take my Jeep out, I used to have an old farm around here. We had some mud bogging days. That was when we had
I kept one of them
like a hill
gladiators.
climb. Yeah.
Well, Thunder, let's go back to when you first joined. There's something
Yeah.
There was a partner. I ended up partnered my PTM with another.
Oh,
league.
that's
It was
yeah, that's
Houston or
right
something.
with Colson.
Colson, there you go.
Colston.
Oh, yeah, he.
Yeah, I thought that's where I got you from. I know I got King Joey from there.
You
Do you
may be
remember that
right.
league?
Yeah, I remember that league.
Yeah, we went in
name
there
of
and
the-
they wanted me to start being the admin because I had a lot of great ideas. I was like, no, how about we just partner our leagues together? And then we ended up doing that.
hamburgers on YouTube.
Your league like fell apart and all you guys came up
I
with
remember that.
Yeah, I forgot all about the NFRL,
Yeah.
NASCAR Fantasy Racing League.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God,
Pretty
I
sure
forgot
that's
all
how we got
about that.
Thunder, we got King Joey from there. Atkins, I'm pretty sure, came from there.
I could have swore I met it through Fluffy, but I guess it's just where I joined through
You raced
and
with
I
him
had to race
that
with
was your
Fluffy
first
to
race
get
with
in.
us.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was mistaken.
But yeah, we ended up
Oh,
partnering
yeah,
with the league.
I remember
and
that.
They fell apart and everyone just came over here.
Well,
Which is a good
Work-
thing.
sounds like it works out in the end, though. So looks like you guys got it good there. But Paul, I just want to say one thing real quick. You literally started the league in 2016. You've managed to make it last 4 years now. You recently, actually just started getting everybody kind of ready for the YouTube age where we're actually doing the broadcasts and stuff. Is there anything farther than that that you have in mind that maybe we can go further with, or maybe something you have an idea of?
I guess that's something that we gotta wait for, but I would like to. I don't know when it would happen. Not saying every driver would have to do it, but maybe having the Cup Series become a money league where people are going to get paid to race and maybe get money out of it.
Damn.
That'd
Pretty cool.
be a crazy idea, but I like the idea of
So
it.
you go trucks, Xfinity, you don't get nothing out of it, and then once you get up to Cup, that's when we're going to have money involved. When that's going to come, we don't know, but that's something I've been thinking about.
Or what about
That'd be pretty cool.
possibly, since we're already streaming on YouTube, what about having a stream on YouTube and Twitch?
Oh yeah, you could do that too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually a gamer on Twitch. All my information's there, I can get paid, I just stopped it. But yeah.
You know, I seen I was scrolling through Facebook because Facebook's always listening to me and stuff, and they always know what I'm thinking. And there's actually a multiple streaming service. Like you can sign up for it. I think it costs money, but they got promotional codes out there, and it can stream to multiple different things like YouTube, Twitch, Facebook,
Yes.
some
Yeah, I
other
have the
things I've
streaming
never even
software
freaking
for-
listened to.
for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how it can work on this. I'm just hoping when Heat 5 comes out, they're just going to kind of up their spectator side of it, you know, like when we're sitting here calling the race, you know, actually show how many laps there are, who's in what position, you know, change the camera angles up a little bit, add more even. And, like, they really need to step on that, I think, because NASCAR 15 always did a pretty good job, I thought, of if you wanted to save a replay even, you know, you could sit there and do some crazy stuff, but that's what they need to do.
You do it.
I think since the pro league's gotten so big and they see like the leagues are evolving, I think it would be an amazing idea to have something for, you know, the people
like the pro league's got
that
it. Why
have,
can't we?
Like a league section. Like there's an online, and then there's a online for leagues.
You know,
that would work
15 had that.
Where there's practice, qualifying, and the race all in one section.
NASCAR 15 had that option. You can start your own league, and it even done points for you.
Yes. I remember that. And you were doing practice, qualifying, and race all one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
704 Games, if you guys are listening in, just some ideas.
Yeah, get it together.
Well, Project Cars 2, you can get on there. You can have a practice session. It can be running, and anyone that needs to join it can just join on in whenever they're ready. Then you leave there and you go right to qualifying and right to the race.
Yeah, you could join in as long as the race has not started. If you're still in qualifying or practice, you can join in.
Really?
I think that would be something really cool for Heat 5. That would be.
Yeah.
And I told them back, like 704 Games, I told them about all that back on Heat 3.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't knocking 704 at all. It's just like versus from NASCAR Heat Evolution to what we got now. It's only going up. So I'm just hoping they'll make even more improvements. We got actual engine noises now. I feel like I'm hauling ass when I'm driving now.
You did a good job with that.
Yeah, awesome job.
The squatch and the rattlesnake.
The damn Evolution sounded like my Jeep getting up to speed.
Yeah, I know. It's like, gosh dang, what am I driving here?
I hope you're talking about your old Jeep that you got, not the one you just got from Chrysler Jeep and God, Courtesy Chrysler Jeep. I'm sorry, guys. I'm supposed to remember these sponsors. What is wrong with me?
Like, what am I driving? A Pacifica hybrid or a freaking Hellcat? I want to drive a Hellcat.
Oh Lord. Oh man. Well, I gotta say before we kind of start getting to the final moments and then all the stuff we do tonight, absolutely love talking to you guys, love racing you guys, and love having the conversation with you. Again, Paddles, Archon, Thunder, Dylan, you guys are hellish competitors out there, and I have a hard time trying to beat you, which makes it even more worth it when you get to the top and win. So can't thank you guys enough.
We got the boss and 2 OGs on here with us.
Well, you got to have people faster. Back when we first started, Dylan was the top one you had to beat.
Yeah.
You
Won
say
every race almost in one season, and him and another guy we had in there, Futz. But he's definitely not in there no more. But,
you mean to tell me he was the original old rattlesnake? This guy right here was the New England Patriots, dang it.
Oh, yeah.
Between him and Futz, they were the only two that used to win the races in our first season.
If I can go back to that, it'd be amazing. I think it was the first or second season I won 9 races. I won 6 in a row.
And we ended up making it crazy and threw in a road course for the championship race. It was crazy.
Oh my God, a championship road course?
Why would you do that?
It's crazy.
Here's the messed up thing about that too. That road course, we didn't know about it till that week.
Yeah.
And,
Oh my God.
and I
Lord.
was only losing by 1 point.
Ooh.
Yeah, he lost that championship.
Something came up. I had to take my daughter to the hospital. I missed that race.
Damn.
And I lost that by 1 point.
Dude.
Yeah, we started
Yeah.
out pretty.
I'd
I
be
don't know. I
mad.
don't remember how many we had, but I think we had a nice bit. We had about 10 to 15, I guess.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'd say that.
Yeah. Because
Well,
when I
did you
first
ground
started
him?
leagues, I ended up joining. My first ever league was that one guy, 420. It was his league.
Hmm.
I
And
remember
I
him.
ended up not being good enough, so they put me into another league, which was called Franklin. Weird name, I know. They had it named after Franklin the
I
cartoon.
remember that. Yeah.
And Hershey was
Franklin
the
the Turtle?
admin in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hershey was the admin in there, and I kept racing, and I was tired of being just pushed dead away and all the time getting screwed up. I was just sick of it. I was like, yeah, I'm starting my own league. That's it. And that's how I started my league.
Well, cool.
It's the way to go.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah.
God, 4 years ago. That's crazy.
4
I'm trying
years
to sit
ago,
here and
and
think how long I've been with y'all.
yeah.
I'd say probably 2, 3, maybe.
Maybe 2.
I think since 2018.
Yeah, I think that's when.
'Cause I think that's when I partnered with that other league.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh,
It's hard to
I don't
believe,
even
but
call that a league.
No, it was not a league. It really
It was
needed
a
a lot
shit
of work.
show.
I was hoping to help out, and then the actual owner took off and we never
I
dealt
remember
with it,
that.
I think,
Yeah, he
for like
couldn't
8
afford
weeks. And then
PlayStation.
all of a sudden, he came back on. He was like, he's taking over, and he started changing everything. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, he couldn't afford PlayStation Plus or something.
Yeah.
he was that cheap.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
pathetic.
he'd rather make YouTube tutorial videos about how to make a cheeseburger.
Or fiction. No shots fired when it's
And what he
GoPro.
should have been doing was cleaning his nails, but
Oh.
Now again,
And that's coming from the boss too. Like, man, I don't know where you were at, but if you ever hear this, you just got called out, son.
and again, that's no shots fired unless you want it to be.
That ain't shots fired. That's the
but
damn
no,
truth.
that wasn't a league. It was very
No.
messed up.
God, I remember we ran a full Eldora race in the trucks, and there was like 5 of us.
Yeah.
That was a nightmare.
Only
I will
5 of
say,
you on Eldora?
PTM, we had our races like that. We did. We had our races where there was only 3 of us on a track.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
you know, it's got to start somewhere.
Wait. Hold on a minute. Y'all,
We used to go downhill, come back up, and go down a little bit, and then come back up. But lately, we're up and we're staying up. So
it
that's
was
good.
like that with the short track
Showdown.
league.
Yeah, it was a Saturday night league, and it was really hard to keep the people in there.
Yeah, because I ran that first race because you wasn't in there for some reason. I remember there was only 3 or 4 cars.
Yeah, I went out. I remember that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
only 3 or 4 cars in a league race compared to what we have now. I mean, that if anyone's out there that's literally listening and that's thinking about running in a league, that's dedication to a league right there, guys. That's when you know you got a good league.
We didn't
Yeah,
care who showed up. We were running our race. If you missed it, you missed it. We just went on. But we never ever kept to PTM. We went PTM. We kept that one as a Sunday league. That was it. Then we had Pedals and Metal Short Track Showdown, and then we had Metal on Metal Racing League.
Yes.
And we ended up just getting rid of the 2 of them, just keeping it PTM.
If I'm not mistaken, Metal on Metal was when we first started introducing the whole
Custom setups.
which I hated. I hated it.
I loved it.
Now all of a sudden you're
then-
winning, Dylan.
I know, right?
That was on Heat 2.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Oh, and he too. Oh, that makes sense, then.
Yeah.
That's why I started coming around was in the short track showdown. That was a fun league. There wasn't very many people, maybe 5 or 6 at the end of the season, but that was a fun league.
We used to have a lot. Like, our seasons were longer back then, too. We used to do, 20,
Oh, God,
25
yeah.
races a season.
20 plus
Oh, wow.
races. Yeah. But the good thing is, I think it was every 4 or 5 races we would have an off week.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to have a lot of off weeks, but now we don't because we just stick into 10 races per season.
Yeah.
Which I feel that's how we're keeping the drivers now because it's only 10 races.
Yeah, that's everybody's attention span nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if we'll get in another season on Heat 4 after this one. Because usually what
that's
we've been
true.
doing was, I think,
The way we got everything done up, we should get one more season before the next game.
yeah,
10 races.
yeah.
I'm just a little worried they're gonna screw this next game up.
You never know though.
I'm
Okay,
just hoping it's not a repeat of Heat 4 and just a little bit worse.
Yeah,
No doubt.
I think that can bring in a good point though. Maybe this is a subject now we can talk about for a second. What would make Heat 5 better than Heat 4? Your guys' opinion.
Everything
Let's
upgraded.
go first.
Everything upgraded.
There is some work still. I know they tried to go up on the tire wear, but some points of it, like for custom setups, it is fine the way it is. But when you go to preset, I think they need to update that part.
Yep.
Or maybe they can update the presets or something, but there's something there that's off.
Yeah, because even when your tires on presets get to like 80, it's like your tires are on 10 in the teens.
Well,
Yeah.
There's some tracks. It's really, really off.
well,
I do
think they
like
need
the
to
point
fix
where
that.
you can't drive into a turn and you drift into a turn like we used to do on Heat 3. I do like that. You actually gotta have a bit more car control, but the tire wear is just off.
Yes.
One thing I would add. Sorry, I interrupted you. I know I keep going back to NASCAR 15, but in my views, NASCAR 15 was one of the best NASCAR games ever made. Besides the glitching when you get yellow flags and stuff. That was the
Yes, I
only
remember
problem
that.
with that game was yellow flags. It'd glitch up like something crazy.
Yeah.
But they had this little car. Most NASCAR games in the past even had this little car indicator right there in the center bottom of your screen.
Yes.
You could see who was on your outside. You could
Yep.
see who was on your inside and how close they was to you. I think if they had that in this game, in future games, that would help everybody a whole lot better to hold a line. That way you could see that little invisible car you can't see yet getting on your inside or outside. I know it takes away a lot of the realism, but I always loved it because I knew how close I could hold it to that car without spinning them out.
Yeah, a lot of them older games got stuff that we should have had already.
Yeah, they should look back at these old games and see like
They,
what was they
they
doing
really
right.
need to have an option there too for online custom setup changes.
Yep.
Yes.
I agree
Yes,
there.
I think that's a big. Yeah.
I know you can't do that in real life, but you got to be able to do a little bit more than wedge tape and your tire pressures.
Right. You
Yeah.
used to be able to mess with your brake bias, your track bars in the pit road.
Yep, I remember that. Yeah.
The one thing that's always driven me nuts about all the Heat games is the physics car to car. I absolutely hate when if someone gets hit in the left rear quarter panel, they just move a little bit. Or like if a car comes down to block you and a left rear to your right front, it sends the car behind flying over. When in reality, it would send the car in front spinning out.
Yeah.
They need to fix that, how the contact is with it, because there's stuff that drives me nuts about like that. Someone could theoretically get out in the lead at Talladega, and if they wanted to drive like an ass, they could block every person and never be passed if they really wanted to, and like crash them.
That's true.
They need to fix that.
Another
And they
thing,
also need to fix the damage model.
Oh,
When
God.
you
yeah.
got
Yeah,
damage, if your
definitely.
front end is really beat up and you're fixed on your screen, but on the other person's screen you're not.
yeah,
But
that's
your
aggravating
screen
as
you're
hell.
fixed and you're touching their bumper. There's some kind of glitch there between all that, and it's just sometimes it's like you're not ramming the person, but on their screen you did ram them. I don't know, something there got to be fixed.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot
And
of
Hoffy said there in the chat, possible to maybe a driver rating system too.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that actually
Man,
looked pretty
that'd
good
go
too.
a
Yeah.
long way.
That was
oh
in
my
NASCAR
God,
15 too.
Yep,
I-
sure
You couldn't
was.
get into certain lobbies unless you were over a certain percentage. That was great. I loved
Yeah,
it.
like you were
Yeah.
you were able to set that percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't
So
have to worry
only
about driving
you could
with it.
set it. Yeah, you could set it at like 100, and only people with that rating can get in that lobby.
Yeah, and that was hard to keep up. That was hard
Yeah.
to keep that rating up. I struggled to keep it above 100. It was hard.
Yeah, because even if like you get into a car and he wrecks, you're down to 99, 98.
Yep.
And I
you
think they
finish
need to
below
bring that
so
back.
much.
Yo, I
And
would
just,
literally
like,
quit
right
out before I
back
hit the
to,
wall.
Right back to Project Cars 2, they have that rating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You can't join a lobby unless you're a certain rating, whatever
Yeah.
they got hosted.
You know, most of these games have ratings. like iRacing is probably the most strict on those ratings. Like it in Gran Turismo. I'm not sure about Forza because I'm a PlayStation guy, but most newer games or like racing games have a rating system, and
Right.
like you can kind of automatically tell who's going to be a wrecker or not. You know, that was always nice.
Yeah.
I agree. There's one thing I would say, besides everyone already making a point of all the tire wear and stuff. And by the way, 704, if you could fix that, please, because like we're racing tomorrow night at Iowa, and right now Archon's making a good point of me why I'm a tire burner. I burn tires up really bad on that track, so I'm hoping to get that fixed for tomorrow night. But there's one thing I would suggest, and I really would love, is that they build a way to have a broadcast booth, or so that way not only can we do these live streams a lot easier and broadcast to you guys like how the race is going with different angles and points of views, but also say somebody wants to have a crew chief or a spotter let them know like, hey, here's how you're doing, here's how this, and here's how you're doing on the track. You know, giving some pointers.
You know, anymore, I'm more of a, I'm better at helping my guys out than I am racing anymore. I mean, I do okay at racing, but you know, to give a crew chief spotter option, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so when you go into pits, it's already done for you. You pull in, pull out.
Yeah.
Like, it's that crew chief on the other side has already got your wedge to this, your tires to this. So it's already done. I think that would be pretty cool, too.
I think that would be pretty cool if we offered that for the truck series.
Hey, that'd be kind of neat.
That'd be great, yeah.
I'll be down with that. Be like, hey, I'm pushing in the center, loose off. And I can be do this.
I know we have some people broadcasting, but we should maybe offer it to them. They can be still in Discord, but we could be on their TV letting them know like what to be doing.
Yeah, hey, that'd be cool.
That's why I kind of threw that out there about teams.
Yeah.
You know, get 2 or 3 drivers, put on your team so that way it's not a mess to work with.
Right.
You know, you work with them through the week and get them to where they need to be. Whether it's holding lines, setups, tire pressures, whatever.
I still have been thinking of teams, but I think we had to come up with like a really, really good idea.
Yes, yeah. I agree.
You know,
to maybe have a team where you only allowed 4 or 3 drivers from trucks, and then maybe 3 or 4 drivers from Xfinity, and 3 or 4 drivers from Cup, and that's your team.
You know, teams work in a sense, but like, you know, when I had my team, like, you know, the chemistry, it's all about chemistry. Like I had a bunch of people on my team. Like I had Baker, Joey, Dylan, Bo, me, and I think that was it. And you know, only 2 I clicked with was Dylan and Joey.
Yeah,
and like,
it's really hard.
And nobody else would show up, you know.
That's
and
why
then you just build this chemistry, and you just keep sticking with those guys, and like me, it's usually just me, Joey, and Dylan, you know, just working together.
Yeah.
And
and maybe let the drivers pick whose team they want to be on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be something down the road to look at, so it's definitely something to think about for the future.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. If I go to do teams again, a lot of work I go into.
Yeah.
It's already a lot of work just getting everything from 4 years of PTM, and it's amazing we celebrating 4 years of this, but like 4 years of doing this.
Our drivers, I feel like if we can get like 15 steady drivers, 15 to 18 steady drivers for each series, we'd be good.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yes.
I don't want to have a season where there's like 20 plus drivers, because that's a wreck fest.
Yeah.
There's someone that knows all about Wreckfest.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Well, guys, I'll be getting off for tonight, and I'll talk to everybody later.
Yeah, I'm ready to go do some plate tracks. Who's up?
I think we'll have to end the podcast real quick before we get to that, but yeah, I would love to do that. So I think it's time to start wrapping things up, but Guys, again, let's give a good special thanks to our sponsors again, Dirt Track, and for your mobile Android and iOS devices. Again, the game is now free, folks. It is one of the best dirt track racing games on the go. So if you cannot make the track or you can't race with us here at home, you can take your Dirt Track and on the go, and you're gonna have some fun all the way home. Also, thank yous from our good friends at Courtesy Jeep Chrysler. If you guys are looking for the best dealership with the best vehicles around, be sure to check out Courtesy Chrysler and Jeep at Coatesville, Pennsylvania. And don't forget, tomorrow night at 7:45 Eastern Standard Time, we are going to have ourselves at Iowa the big truck race. The homegrown Iowa Boy Crusader will return home to Iowa. The sexiest man in PTM, Grandpa, will be there. JR is looking good as well. A lot of great drivers there. There's going to be a heck of a field for the rookies and a tough track to deal with. As we've said before, it's a tire burner, so be prepared for some incredible action there coming tomorrow night. Also, if you're looking for some fantastic racing from the old Rattlesnake, Dr. Squatch, and Dylan,
Yes, sir.
and Pottles, look for it on Monday night at 8 Eastern Pacific Standard Time, as they will be racing in the Custom Cup Series. And then, of course, Xfinity, pretty much everybody here will be racing that as well, and that is starting at 8 Eastern on Tuesday night. Well, guys, from our good friends, Pottles, Archon, Thunderfunk, and Dylan, I am Crusader. Thank you guys for tuning in to the PTM Podcast. If you liked what you see, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and go like our Facebook page. Have a good night, everybody.